for children and safe technology. My comments are in regard to radiation emissions from the wireless classrooms. I want to bring to your attention new information to add to the decades of scientific studies, numbering in the thousands, and long-established findings of the health harms from wireless radiation exposures. The University of California, Berkeley is an established and well-respected research and educational institution. In June, Center for Family and Community Health, UC Berkeley, released some tips to reduce your exposure to wireless radiation. Among these are, turn off Wi-Fi devices being used by kids. Use hardwired networks in schools to provide internet access. Also released in June is the Baby Safe Project, which I know would be of particular interest to expectant teachers. The website reads, bringing physicians, scientists, and educators together to help inform women about the risk that wireless radiation poses to pregnancy and to urge expectant mothers to limit their exposure. Dr. Hugh Taylor, Chief of Obstetrics, Yale University Hospital, explains in a video, scientific studies demonstrate that exposures to wireless radiation results in degradation of memory and learning capabilities, most notably ADHD. Doctors for Safer Schools has issued this statement. Standards are outdated, based only on thermal levels, not based on science, and place all of us at significant risk, especially women and children. We ask school boards, educators, and parents to realize existing standards fail to protect students and staff. Did you know, in October, an LAUSD teacher was given a reasonable accommodation, allowing to move to a wired classroom for health reasons. In public comment, she stated that students were bleeding from the ears and the nose, and no incident reports were allowed. Did you know, in 2012, an Italian court ruled that wireless radiation emitted from cell phones can cause brain tumors? Did you know, just recently, there's peer-reviewed scientific evidence that wireless radiation emissions should be classified as a carcinogen, as a Group 1 carcinogen. Group 1 means that it is known to cause cancer. Rather than resisting what is clearly, insistently being communicated by medical doctors, researchers, scientists, and the public, we should all be moving to protect our children and moving the messages forward to others. I hope that you will come to realize a critical need to share this information until it becomes common knowledge. We cannot wait for dead bodies and diseases to make this all self-evident. We cannot wait to see it in the news or proclaimed by our government. It is time to turn the corner and help others to do too as well. The answer is simple. Wire the school technology. I have some handouts available. Who should I give those to? Okay, thank you.
John, I messed this up last month, right? And I'm going to probably do it again. Imbriano?
Excuse me, Diane.
You told me last month, and I still did it wrong.
You got it right.
I did. Well, good. I'm glad I could remember now. Thank you.
My name is Joe Imbriano. I'm a parent. I live in Fullerton, California. I run a website called thefullertoninformer.com and WiFiDangers.com. I've been here before. I think you're familiar with what I'm here to tell you. And I don't know how to, there's a lot of wishful thinking in this room. I know a lot of you have been here for a long time. I know one of you is getting close to retirement. There really isn't much I can say except for you need to open your eyes to what's going on. There are a lot of agendas at work with Common Core. This is the biggest thing that has faced humanity, in my opinion, since the dawn of civilization with respect to how this thing is all set up with Project Inkwell, with Apple Computer, with the highest levels of government, scientists, the scientific community. They're lock, stock, and barrel bought and paid for, ladies and gentlemen. The wireless industry owns the scientific community. We have the ex-head of Homeland Security running the UC system. Her name is Janet Napolitano. If you're going to have objectivity coming out of a research institution, you're not going to put the head of the Gestapo in charge of it. I'm here to tell you folks that aside from dumbing our kids down, developing algorithms and dossiers on families, there's an agenda involved that involves fertility. I have laid that out, and if you haven't looked at it, I will re-email it all to you. These claims are not wild by any stretch of the imagination. The symbolism involved in some of these companies, like Apple Computer, for example, they priced their first model at $666.66. In my 48 years on this planet, I've never entered a store and saw a product priced at that, and that's not a very good number. When you have companies like Artemis Technologies that are coming out with the next generation communication device, and they're going to replace cell towers, they're going to have routers everywhere instead of these wireless infrastructures that we're accustomed to. Artemis is the goddess of fertility and childbearing. It's also the goddess of the hunt. And their symbol is an inverted uterus. Human reproduction turned on its head. Another symbol that they use is a wireless device in the crosshairs. This technology follows the device around and encompasses it with about a 2 to 3 centimeter sphere of microwave energy. This is going to follow the user from the cradle to the grave, and the majority of these devices are held in close, direct proximity to the reproductive organs. You look at the symbolism on Apple Computer's Cupertino headquarters. It is the human egg missing the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is responsible for the zona hardening of the egg upon fertilization. In the absence of zona hardening at fertilization, you have what's called polyspermy. More than one sperm gets in, that egg is no longer viable. I can't begin to tell you how serious this is, and I know a lot of you have been here for a very long time and have done a good job. You've run a good district, but the tables have been turned on you, not by the parents, but by the government. From the people up above, they don't care about you, and they don't care about the kids. There are agendas, folks, to lower the population. They're not hiding that. If you open some of your books, you're going to see the propaganda in there about how overpopulated we are, how we're running out of resources, how there's not enough water, how there's not enough this. But if you get in an airplane and go to Vegas for the weekend, you'll see that there's land from here to Kingdom Come. There's an aquifer a mile deep under our feet. The weather is not global warming, it is actually geoengineering. Folks, we're being duped, and our kids are in the crosshairs. And what's happening with Common Core, there's a way out. Give them their stinking money back. Get the kids out of this thing, go back to teaching the way you used to teach, and send these people packing with their dirty dough. And listen to these parents. Don't try to marginalize them. Don't tell them you need to go back to the parent night so their kids can figure this homework out. Just please open your eyes to what's happening. And try to remember that we're all human beings created in the image of God, and no one here has the right to take away any child's right to have a child. And I do believe that at the heart of this wireless agenda, that is precisely what is at stake.